Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss often spend most of their time talking about Bitcoin, but today's not one of those days. They're discussing Ethereum, as are most other people. Tyler with this comment: it's hard to understand why Ether isn't roaring right now and is still hovering below its all-time high from 3 years ago. It's definitely not an if, but rather a when. Really could be any day now. And we're going to bring you guys through a number of different forecasts here, predictions. Take all of these with a grain of salt, but I want to convey the fact that the vibe right now is extremely optimistic. Of course, if you like this kind of content, Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency, be sure to like and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz. Wolf here on Twitter talking about the ETH BTC chart, which is something that we looked at the other day and which is poised for a significant breakout. The 2.3 years, 28 months, or 868 days, massive IHS with neckline at 0.03854 has broke out. Neckline will now act as support. Any pullback will be defended by bulls. I've been waiting for this for months. Well done. ETH is writing history, also with their own observation. And that's all it is, an individual's subjective observation. But check this out. ETH has cleared the key resistance instead of rejecting, which means I am now comfortable saying the bottom is likely in. The Bitcoin pairing also looks incredible, and a weekly close in 15 hours will have us breaking out of a 2-year resistance. ETH looks absolutely primed. And finally here with some optimism relating to Ethereum, we have Alex Saunders. Why I'm raising my ETH target to $10,000. All these different reasons support that new target. Number one, Ethereum processing more transactions than Bitcoin. Ethereum 2 locking ETH, staking yield between 5 and 15%, 4% issuance to 1% on ETH 2, quartering, DeFi, NFTs, non-fungible tokens, gaming, DAOs, DWeb, scaling, EIP 1559, privacy, enterprise adoption, stablecoins, and once again, the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio. Now, of course, guys, none of this is financial advice. Ethereum's price could just as well go down significantly by the time you're watching this video. However, right now, at the time of this recording, we're looking at the 15-minute ETH USDT charts on Binance, and we're sitting at about $1,320. Comment below on the price of ETH at the time that you're watching. Hopefully it's higher, but if it's not, don't worry, guys. Zoom out and appreciate the long-term trend. The pattern is only going in one direction if you catch my drift. And let's consider some other positive macro news here. If you take a look at this, you'll likely recognize the website. We're on sec.gov, the Security and Exchange Commission. Form S1 registration statement for the Valkyrie Bitcoin Fund. Yes, as per Cointelegraph.com, the race is on yet again for crypto ETFs. Exchange-traded funds as Valkyrie now files registration. Multiple institutions are yet again lining up to offer crypto ETPs, but will the SEC overcome its historical resistance? We've talked about this for, I suppose, weeks now, ultimately. The Joe Biden presidency is looking to be crypto-friendly on the whole. They've already frozen those FinCEN regulations that ostensibly were looking to hurt cryptocurrency, and Biden is also looking to appoint some of the right individuals as far as the crypto space is concerned in key positions at institutions like the SEC. So I think all else being equal, we stand a better chance in this next round of proposals than we did during the last cycle. But let's read on a little bit here. In a move that may give seasoned investors flashbacks to 2018, and a little bit of nostalgia for sure, Valkyrie Digital Assets is the latest asset management firm to file a registration with the SEC to form a Bitcoin ETF, a bid that joins a crowded field of prospective fund managers looking to capitalize on renewed retail interest in cryptocurrency. So this was filed on Friday, and the Texas-based Family Investment Fund proposed listing the Valkyrie Bitcoin Trust on the New York Stock Exchange. If history is any indication, however, the filing's chances of leading to a tradable fund are slim. During the last Bitcoin bull run, multiple firms, as many of you may recall, attempted to throw their hat into the ring, as at least 9 entities filed proposals for a Bitcoin ETF with the SEC, including ETF giants VanEck and Direxion, as well as Gemini, the crypto services firm formed by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, of course. VanEck is a name that brings back memories because it seems like, a couple years ago we were talking about VanEck nearly every day. Now, not so much. They've faded, at least in the crypto sense, into irrelevance because, of course, that bid was never approved. But I don't know, things are different this time around. We don't quite have that individual consumer FOMO at all the way we had in 2017. We have an institutionally driven bull market here when it comes to Bitcoin and now increasingly other altcoins. So it may be assessed differently I think the zeitgeist has certainly changed, and we have all kinds of indicators to suggest that we're in a better space versus 2017 and certainly versus 2018. Check this out on Coinbase, just kind of by the numbers here, which, if you're using Coinbase, by the way, you know that it's molasses right now. They're struggling with the volume that they're seeing in terms of new signups, in terms of users that are on the platform. But to their credit, they now have 90 plus billion dollars in assets on their platform. So we take a look at these stats every so often and we track some of these numbers, but just seemingly out of nowhere, $90 billion. So you have to ask yourself, how much longer will it be until they hit 100 billion and then 110 and 20 and beyond? And of course, Coinbase is just one exchange, and maybe it's not even your favorite exchange, but this is a significant milestone. As per Coindesk.com, Coinbase published fresh numbers Friday on how much capital has flowed into the exchange in recent months. And the take-home point here when assessing some of these numbers is that they are institutionally driven. So Coinbase's asset surge is likely driven by the likes of MicroStrategy, which, by the way, just picked up a whole bunch more Bitcoin on the dip. MicroStrategy, Rougher Investment, and other institutions that have used the exchange's prime brokerage service to make large Bitcoin buys in recent months. As important as that institutional investment is, it is not the whole story. We've seen athletes like Russell Okung requesting payment in Bitcoin. We're seeing more and more high-profile people talking about Bitcoin and, by extension, altcoins. Now you have this individual who, I'm not claiming is the hottest artist in the world, Soulja Boy. Let's be honest, it's probably been about 10 years or so since this guy's been relevant, but nevertheless, one step at a time, he said, thanks guys, bought some BNB, Digibyte, Tron, KLV, ZPay, and FDO. What's next? Let's go. So interestingly here, really getting into altcoins. And you can read here on decrypt.co, Soulja Boy reveals which cryptocurrencies are in his portfolio. The crank that superstar told crypto Twitter which coins he owns. I don't mean to laugh at Soulja Boy, but I don't know. I thought he was kind of a one-hit wonder, like 10, maybe even 15 years ago. I could be wrong. I'm not exactly an expert when it comes to his hip-hop repertoire. So if I need to be corrected, please do so in the comments below. But hey, this is what mass adoption looks like at a cultural level. So very good. Obviously, I'm being a little bit facetious here, but very good news overall on the whole. And whether you're an individual, high net worth individual, whether you're an institution, of course, there are more and more options that are unfolding, that are becoming available every single day. Galaxy launching 3 new funds. The asset management arm has about $1 billion of assets under management, AUM, and continues to grow. Money is flowing into this space. It's important it lands in the right products that closely track NAV. Congrats to Steve Kurz and Galaxy team. Good luck. And by the way, on the subject of Ethereum, take a look at what those 3 new funds are. Galaxy Ethereum Fund, Galaxy Institutional Ethereum Fund, and Galaxy Institutional Ethereum Fund Offshore. And look, speaking of Ethereum once again, before we wrap up here, this is something that you guys already know. Just wanted to remind you that this date of February 8th is coming up very quickly. So in a lot of ways, we have this perfect storm. We talked about the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. We talked about all the momentum right now, courtesy of this exploding DeFi space. But you also have the CME Group's futures that are coming up very quickly on the 8th of February. This is what's going to popularize Ethereum. This is what's going to allow traditional investors for the first time to hear the name Ethereum, kind of scratch their heads and look it up, do some more research, perhaps invest in it for the first time. Bitcoin is kind of like the gateway drug, but then a lot of people, I think, will have a preference for Ethereum once they get into this space. Not to make a crude drug analogy here, I'm not going to say which drug Ethereum would be, but I think it would be a good one. I think a lot of people are going to get hooked on it in a good way. There are positive addictions in this life, just as much as there are some negative ones. Ethereum will be a positive addiction. I'm just trying to salvage my analogy here. It's spiraling out of control, but I think you guys understand what I'm trying to say. And we have a bit of a new convert here as well. Some positive news to close things off. Not to launch into this in any depth, but Jim Cramer of Mad Money fame, he told this winner of the $731 million Powerball lottery to actually put 5% into Bitcoin. Now, 5% is a pretty significant allocation. People have traditionally said, maybe 1%, 2%, a small fraction of your portfolio. 5% in Bitcoin, 5% of $731 million. Just doing some quick math, that's somewhere in the $36, $37 million range. that is a significant amount of money. I'm not factoring taxes into that calculation, of course, but it gives you an idea. Maybe a few more percentage points into Ethereum and some altcoins as well, but we'll leave that to another day for Jim Cramer. One suggestion at a time. This certainly shows that he's coming around. Just want to highlight the fact that many of you in the comments yesterday based on this post have picked up some link based on our previous coverage, based on our previous price analyses and recommendations. So kudos to so many of you that picked up link on the cheap. Now that it is exploding, you guys are profiting significantly. Just reading through the comments here was a lot of fun. Not all that many of you, I think, are aiming to sell anytime soon. You see this as a long-term play, so kudos. And of course, if you guys are not following our trade signals regarding Link, but for that matter, all kinds of other projects, including Bitcoin, including Ethereum and all the other altcoins, check out the pinned comment. You can see it right now. I always pin it to the top of the comments page. Join our discussion for price analyses, for project discussion, for trade signals. It is never financial advice, but you will be joining an informed discussion. And that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen, friends, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into our website. It is altcoinbuzz.io. Like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell to receive notifications if you enjoyed today's video. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this Sunday. Have a great tail end to your weekend, everybody. Stay safe out there. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.